is a Friday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. Glad to be with you. Whether you're joining us on conventional radio, 989 The Answer FM, or whether you're joining us on our social media channels. You can watch it on the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page, the Answer Facebook page, or my own social channels for hour number one, and we'll post the hour one portion of the program on Rumble a little later today. We'll get you updated on what we know, which isn't a whole lot other than Iran denies that Israel successfully struck back for the drone attack this weekend. We'll have the perspective of some military experts on what really happened and why Israel did what it did. Was it a measured response? Was it an appropriate response? But we start first with our own city and the violence that continues. Methinks thou dost crow too soon about a declining violent crime situation in the city of Columbus, Mayor Andrew Ginther, because overnight, Whitehall police were forced to shoot an as yet unidentified male who was with another male in a car when Whitehall police were alerted to this, what I'm going to say is an apparent drug deal, by ShotSpotter technology. So ShotSpotter technology is located throughout the city. When gunfire rings out, the police are notified, and they may not get a call from where the shots rang out, so they are then dispatched to that area. And that is what happened in this situation. 4600 block of East Main Street. It's Hamilton Road, essentially, in East Main. And the officers pull up. There's a dark SUV that speeds away. There's a silver SUV where two men were inside, apparently Hispanic ethnicity. The officers issued their commands in both English and Spanish, clearly stated. You can hear from the body cam video. One of the people in the silver SUV got out. The other one got out, then spun around, grabbed something, and didn't comply. And what happens when you don't comply with police and you move quickly and you engage in activity that the officer can reasonably paint as a threat to his safety? He got shot and he died. And that is sad, and I really feel bad for the officer because it's not something any officer wants to do. It is something that happens rarely in our city. But when it happens, it is, I'm trying to think, have we ever had an unjustified police shooting in the city of Columbus? We had a lot of people allege it. Donovan Lewis's parents yesterday sued because they say Donovan Lewis didn't deserve to be shot by police when he wouldn't come out of his apartment. His two cohorts staying with him didn't even know. I don't even know if he's in that bedroom. Sure you don't. Casey Goodson, same thing. Andre Hill, we'll wait and see. But anyway, we don't have the identity of this guy yet. Here's a quote from the Whitehall police chief. Officer Mike Crispin said, "Officers told him to lift his hands several times in Spanish and English, and he still did not comply. It appears on the video he quickly spun around and reached for something, spun back toward the officer. The officer then responded to the threat. Shots were fired into the vehicle." So we'll stand by if we have more details on that. We will let you know. It's not all good news on the police front. We had a former Columbus police officer indicted by a federal grand jury yesterday. He's charged with 2 counts of destroying or altering records. He turned off his body cam while he was having interactions, shall we say, with 2 different females at 2 different times. His name is Nicholas Duty of Commercial Point. He was fired last month when these allegations first surfaced, and now he will be facing charges in federal court. So I'm not trying to sugarcoat it and say cops are perfect. No profession is perfect. Journalism certainly isn't perfect. Journalism is lost and hopeless. But even when I was a newspaper reporter on an everyday basis, I would be completely turned off and horrified by some of the questions that were asked and some of the conduct that I observed. It's the same in the legal profession. It's the same in the medical profession. It's the same in the academic professions. And no one is more upset by a bad cop than good cops. And there are far more good cops than there are bad cops. Now, stormy weather really wasn't too bad this morning. It's supposed to get better this afternoon. Really bad on Wednesday afternoon. And the National Weather Service now confirms that we had 5 tornadoes touch down in Ohio on Wednesday. We've had more tornadoes this year than any other state. Are they jealous in Kansas, Nebraska, Arkansas? Are they jealous? I don't know. We're leading the pack in a race no one wants to lead. So that is the official word from the National Weather Service on what happened on Wednesday. I had the privilege last night emceeing the annual Teen Challenge Ohio banquet. Awesome evening, as it always is. I have staged fundraisers here on The Answer for Teen Challenge Ohio. I'm proud to do so, privileged to do so. The reason I'm privileged to do so is because whatever these two vehicles were engaged in Whitehall last night, wee hours of the morning, suspicious activity, gunfire nearby, police come, guy ends up dead. These situations are all too common in our city and our country. We touched on it yesterday at the outset of the show. Why? Because of imperfect parenting, tough family situations, lack of discipline, lack of structure, lack of expectations articulated and insisted upon by people in authority over young people. And the young people, if they are saddled with impoverished conditions in which to grow up, will, because the human survival instinct kicks in, they will engage in whatever activity they deem necessary at the time to survive. And you hear these stories most often on this show that end badly, like this one last night ended badly. The privilege of being involved with, in a very small way, an event like last night's banquet for Adult Teen Challenge Ohio is that you hear the stories like this that start out hopeless and end much differently, end the way we'd all like these stories to end. I heard two young women last night tell their life story. They did not have any of the advantages that most of us have had who have grown up in not just two-parent homes, but two-parent homes with praying parents, and even additionally, to our benefit, praying grandparents. What these two women went through in their lives is horrific. But you know what was the thing that struck me the most? How neither one of them played the victim card, even though both were victims. They owned their own responsibility in the bad things that happened to them. I'm not going to articulate exactly what, because first of all, it's not edifying, but it's also not who they are anymore. Because the one woman had a 14-year-old, as a 14-year-old, she became pregnant. She could have aborted the child. She said, no, it's my mistake. I'm going to make this work. In the aftermath of that, her mother died. Her best friend, her rock. That precipitated a life of addiction. But because of the ministry of Teen Challenge Ohio, where they make no bones about the fact, look, God loves you. You're down and out now. You're desperate now. You're struggling now. You've tried everything. You've messed up your life. Others have messed up your life. But it doesn't mean that you have to wallow in that. You have to stay there. You have to continue to make bad choices. This woman has been restored to the daughter that she had when this woman was 14 years old. And then I heard another story of a girl who was just, the circumstances of her life at the age where she was victimized are the worst thing you can imagine. She wound up at Teen Challenge through the work of, and I got to throw a big affirmation here to her probation officer in the city of Columbus. He cared enough about her to, when she called and said, I got to get out of this place, the structure, the discipline, no thanks. He was like, nope, you're staying right there. A year ago, she accepted Christ as her Savior. She's a few months away from graduating from the program, and she, like the woman who spoke before her, will live a productive life, because no matter how desperate your situations are, There are good people out there. And this is a country where the good people out there, if you can find them, and if you're directed to them by other good people, like this probation officer in Franklin County, you can team with other people who demonstrate their love for you and their care for you, and you can triumph over your circumstances. I would encourage you, if you have the means, to contribute to Adult Teen Challenge Ohio, because they just acquired another property where they are going to institute a 12-step program for men and women. They're growing. That's a good thing. It means that people who are desperate and don't have hope are finding hope at Adult Teen Challenge Ohio. This is the great thing about America, is that you can overcome no matter what you've been saddled with.
Cloudy and breezy with I-63. Considerably cloudy tonight and a bit cooler with that low dipping to 44. Kicking off the weekend tomorrow, breezy with a
all right.
sun and clouds.
Thanks for joining us. We are going to hit the Iran-Israel thing next. I got a White House response. Here's a headline you never thought you'd see. Let me just read it to you. I'll read you right off the page. White House admits Biden's uncle wasn't eaten by cannibals. How about that? The president's uncle was not eaten by cannibals. Confirmed by the White House. Yay! Yikes. That's where we are. So we're in commercial. Let me grab a couple things off the printer, and I'll be right back, and we'll keep on rolling.
Attention business owners, medical practice owners, and taxpayers with not-so-simple tax returns. If you're not getting timely and useful financial advice throughout the year from your accountant, why not? I'm CPA Brad Hennebert from Premier Tax CPAs, and the true value of using a CPA is getting guidance throughout the year, not just at tax time. During the year, we can actively advise you on your financial, tax planning, and other major business needs, just like an outside CFO. Too often, when you see your accountant only at tax time, we're really only keeping score of what you did last year. At Premier Tax CPAs, we like to have monthly consultations with our business clients, because important financial information is only useful if it's timely. See us before April 15th and get a free copy of my latest book, The Ohio Business Owner's Tax Survivor.
Oh.
At Premier Tax CPAs, we're a firm that can...
Hey, if you need flooring in Central Ohio, hit me up. If you want some all-natural products, great for you, great for your family, go to patriotswitch.com/Bruce. Fill out the information form. I'll reach out to you. $1 annual memberships. What do you pay for your Sam's Club, Costco, BJ's Wholesale Club? What do you pay for those memberships? Like $75? Patriotswitch.com products are awesome, plant-based, good for you, good for the environment, good for our country, because the Patriot Switch manufacturer does not donate to woke causes. And the annual membership's $1. $1. And when they ship it right to your house, they credit the shipping back to your account the next month for more product. Can't beat it. So check that out. I'll put the oh, it's already on the crawl. So appreciate you guys joining us. A lot of great stuff to get to today, and looking forward to doing that with you.
TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt,
Better check out what my live read is. Let's do a Patriot Switch live read right here.
And an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-3490. That's 800-275-3490.
Who are the people that serve part-time in the Ohio Army National Guard? We are your neighbors, co-workers, and friends. We are your sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters. We are the people you see in your community every day. While we serve part-time, we're learning valuable life and job skills that we can use in our civilian careers. We get up to 100% of our tuition paid for at state colleges, so we can have an even better future. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state through every storm, every flood, every emergency that hits home here in Ohio. We are ready to respond and help our fellow Ohioans recover. We are every city, every small town, and every community. We are your Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with the Ohio Army National Guard at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Got the email yesterday. Good news for you. If you've been putting off becoming a member of patriotswitch.com/Bruce, well, your annual membership now, instead of being $19, is $1. What do you pay for your Costco annual membership? Or your BJ's Wholesale Club, or your Sam's Club, or your other shopping club memberships? A lot more than $1. And I bet they don't credit shipping right back to your account like they do at patriotswitch.com. So if you're worried about, well, I can't afford to have these things shipped to my house, Bruce. Yes, you can, because the shipping is credited back to your account the following month for more products. And they have a lot of products, 450 plus of them. What kind of products, Bruce? Well, mouthwash, toothpaste, laundry detergent, countertop cleaners, vitamins, makeup, all the things you're already buying, except you're buying them from companies that donate to causes you don't support. Where's Planned Parenthood get its money? Where's the Human Rights Commission get its money? No, not from big companies. Well, they do, but they get it from you. So stop doing that. Inquire about a membership at patriotswitch.com/Bruce, patriotswitch.com/Bruce. I, like you, woke up this morning to news that Israel has struck back at Iran for the drone strikes that were largely inconsequential in Israel last weekend. Iran is saying, nothing to see here, but they got to get their act together, because they come up with like 4 different explanations that nothing happened. If nothing happened, shouldn't you just be able to say, nothing happened, we're all good here? Instead, we get some people from Iran saying there was no attack. And then there were other reports that, well, we were attacked, but only a few small drones. And then one said, well, we were attacked, few small drones, but not a big deal. And then the final lie was that, oh yeah, there were explosions, but it was just a factory. Just a factory exploded, just on its own. Kind of like the trailer full of lithium-ion batteries on the west side yesterday morning here in Columbus. Israel used manned aircraft that did not enter Iranian airspace to send attack drones into Iran. And one of the cities where there were multiple explosions heard is where Iran has one of its main nuclear research facilities. Israel can never, ever, ever allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Donald Trump understood that. Barack Obama didn't. Joe Biden doesn't. So Iran is getting close. Heard a report this morning they're weeks away from having enough of the materials needed to produce a nuclear weapon. Israel's not going to allow that, because Iran will use it, or one of their proxies will use it. And then we'll really be in it if that happens. So Israel probably took out a nuclear power facility. It did not hit the refineries. They should hit the refineries. That would take away Iran's money. But all signals point to the fact that something consequential happened in Iran. Otherwise, why would they be rerouting flights into and out of Tehran and 2 other cities? If nothing happened, then business would be as usual. But it is not business as usual. Here's Colonel Jack Keane, Fox News military analyst, talking about what Israel was trying to accomplish, the questions that they were weighing, and what they were able to do.
So we have to do something. But I think the seminal objective they were trying to achieve was get Iran to de-escalate. So they have a limited attack capability here. And then what are the means? Well, you can do a cyber attack. They've done a lot of that. You can do covert attacks, and they've done a lot of that, actually right in this area. And also, you can do overt kinetic attacks. I think they ruled out the overt kinetic attacks, much like Iran used the other night, cruise missiles, lots of drones, but ballistic missiles. They knew if they fired cruise missiles and ballistic missiles at Iran, Iran would likely have to respond. And therefore, we're continuing the escalation. They're not going to use manned aircraft, as some people are suggesting. That makes no sense. They're not going to risk their pilots unless they're going after Iran's nuclear enterprise because they're about to develop a weapon. So what's left here on the table? A covert operation. And that's what they've done in the past. They don't talk about it.
No, there's no reason to talk about it. There's no reason to crow about it. Israel is all the things Joe Biden and his weak-kneed top brass Anthony Blinken, Jake Sullivan say to put pressure on Israel like they're escalating the war and they're being inhumane and all that. None of that is true to Israel. So they don't feel the need to brag about stuff. You know, strikes me that Bibi Netanyahu has never come out and talked about his brother being the hero of the raid on Entebbe and rescuing Israeli hostages. Can you imagine if Joe Biden had a brother who did that rather than steal millions of dollars from foreign oligarchs? And poor Uncle Boozy would have never gotten the run that he did yesterday about being eaten by cannibals if Jim Biden had done what Bibi Netanyahu's brother did. Uncle Boozy would be way down the priority scale if Biden had something to actually brag about that one of his relatives had actually done. Oh, Uncle Boozy. By the way, I have audio from Corinne Jean Identity Hire about, and this is a headline I never thought I would read ever in my life, but here it is, out of the New York Post. White House admits Biden uncle wasn't eaten by cannibals. How about that? Woo! In case you were worried. We will get to that. We will get to that at 11:45-ish. Right now, I want to solicit your input. 844-TALK-989, 844-TALK-989 is our number. The State of Ohio General Assembly is next week going to add to a bill already on the floor of the House that would require each school district, Board of Education, hey, that's me, to adopt a policy governing the use of cell phones by students during school hours. Since being elected to my local school board, I can tell you I've gotten more feedback from parents on what they want or don't want regarding their kids having or not having cell phones in schools than any other topic. So I know this resonates with parents, and anyone out there who has a strong opinion on this or who has an experience with something your district has done on cell phones, I'd like to hear it so I can have an informed opinion on this. The policy that they are weighing in the state of Ohio would emphasize that student cellular telephone use must be as limited as possible during school hours to reduce distractions in the classroom. This is one of the things that I favor, is a distraction-free classroom. Now, I think there are other ways that distractions can manifest themselves in the classroom, but my whole philosophy on education is we should be developing students to be independent, logical thinkers who are not indoctrinated, but who are encouraged to explore all sources of information, weigh that information, apply logic and common sense to it, and then be able to develop their worldview and defend their worldview based upon facts. Not like the crazy lady from NPR says, facts and your feelings and where they intersect. No. Feelings are divorced from it because facts are not impacted by your feelings, as Ben Shapiro has often famously said. Facts don't care about your feelings. But I do care about your perspective on cell phones in the classroom in Ohio's elementary, junior highs, and high schools. I'd like to know what you think. 844-TALK-989, 844-TALK-989. Boards do not have to adopt policies to ban cell phones, but at least they will have addressed it. And it's all about learning. It's all about helping kids get the maximum out of their education. So weigh in if you have a thought.
With SRN News, Robert Thomason.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what people have to say. Kind of have a midday show, so a lot of times people are working and don't have time to call during the show. But I don't solicit calls very often because what are they paying me for if I'm going to just bang calls all afternoon? But on something like this, I'd like to know how it's worked in other schools. I'd like to know what people think. So if you have a thought, you can shoot it to me on social media, or you can call the show 844-TALK-989, 844-TALK-989. I'm going to check a couple of things here, and then I'll be back with you.
In Alaska. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 170 points, the Nasdaq is down 164. More details at SRNews.com.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner.
We are in commercial.
To thank you for that.
Gotta
free
remember to
gutter
put that up.
inspection, the
Sorry,
free
that's why I'm not talking. But I will be talking
lifetime
soon.
guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/gold to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard. Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/gold and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military.
News, opinion, passion. Here.
Oh boy.
The answer. Anywhere you go. With the answers.
That's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
For nearly 35 years. From oil changes to detailing to complete engine replacement, we're here to serve you to the highest levels and make you part of the family. All our repairs are backed by a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. Check out our mobile app for discounts and specials. Tilton's Automotive Service, in the shadow of Anheuser-Busch in Columbus and just off Creekside in Gahanna. For more info, check out tiltonsauto.com. Take it to Tilton's.
Westwood Financial Group is not an auto.
Everyone knows the old saying, nothing lasts forever. Well, whoever said that obviously never bought a timeshare. Not only do your maintenance fees and assessment fees go on forever, they go up forever. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Over 10 years ago, I was a timeshare salesman. But once I saw the dark side of the business, I quit. I started helping folks get out of the timeshare. Since then, we've helped over 30,000 families by putting them at a bad timeshare. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answer. Give us a call. I guarantee you, if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-839-8484. That's 800-839-8484. 800-839-8484. It is the fourth. Your alarm clock goes off. He's already hit the ground, running, ready to tell you what's going on. Waking up to. He's Hugh Hewitt. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on your station for news, fun, and passion. 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Great sleeping weather last night, but maybe it wasn't the weather. Maybe it was my Giza Dream bed sheets. Maybe it was my pillow or the my pillow towel set, soft absorbent, which allow me to get out of the shower and feel really comfortable and not like all creepy and wet and all that. You know how it gets in the summertime when you're sweating after you get out of the shower because it's so humid. That's because you still have moisture on your body. Your towels are not absorbing the water from your shower or from your bath. That problem goes away when you have my pillow towels because they are made from the world's best cotton and they are fully and super absorbent. Right now, one thing that won't absorb is your wallet. At least not a big hit because Mike Lindell at My Pillow has a $25 sale. Towel sets, Giza Dream Sheets, a My Pillow, $25. If you got all three, my West Liberty Salem High School math tells me that would be $75, and then your shipping would be free. So check out the prices in the $25 off sale, or not $25 off, $25 at mypillow.com. And to get that pricing, use my promo code Bruce. I am interested if you want to offer it in your opinion on what we should do in Ohio regarding student cell phone use in schools. Should kids be allowed to have their cell phones and use them unabated? Now, I know there are probably arguments for it. For instance, every cell phone has a camera, and if a teacher puts an assignment on the board or there's something in, I don't have books anymore, but if if your curriculum, however it's communicated to you in class, there's some visual that you want to capture, I'll listen to the argument about why it makes sense to let kids have a camera. But most schools, don't they issue tablets or don't they issue Chromebooks? Wouldn't that have the same kind of a feature on it? You could screenshot it or take a photo of it. I'll listen to the argument about, student medical needs, or this is a sad reality of our current state of the culture. If something terrible happens at a school, you as a parent want to be able to communicate with your son or daughter. I know at Parkland and other school shootings, kids who had their phones in class were able to immediately get a hold of authorities to communicate the threat that was at the school. But I, as a parent, worry about the impact that phones and the sites my kids are on their phones have on their mental development. And we got a rule in the house: if I ever see you on TikTok, I got your phone, you're never getting it back. But Instagram, in my opinion, can be just as bad. Amount of time spent up the street the other day at my friend and healthcare provider, Dr. Brandon Schreiner at Revive, was going through my treatment plan, and they've been able to move my neck back because I spent my whole professional life like staring at laptop screens. And they showed me how far they've been able to move my head back where it's supposed to be. And they said, we see this now in lots of teenage girls. Why? Because they got their phone out, got their head down, looking at their phone. Not the proper posture. This manifests itself in all kinds of physical and mental damages. So I'd like to know, they're going to put this in a bill on the House floor in the state of Ohio. The departments of education is encouraging, strongly so, if it becomes law. Local school boards have to make a decision. They have to come up with a policy. They got to put it on their website. I'm very open to this and want to gather feedback. So if you have feedback and you want to offer it, feel free to let us know. 844-TALK-989. 844-TALK-989. Now, if you're sad because you don't check any intersectional boxes and you're feeling left out, you're a white male, or the only intersectional box you check is you're a white female. You don't have anything going for you that can really work for you too much in the DEI space. That might be good. That might be good if you've been victimized by someone else who checks 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes on the DEI scale. I wonder why the major media is not reporting. A Supreme Court decision issued Wednesday. 9-0. A 9-0 Supreme Court. When have we had 9-0? Not very often do we get 9-0, where we get the nut jobs, Kagan and Sotomayor, and I don't know what a woman is, Ketanji Brown Jackson, to join with Clarence Thomas. Okay? Mr. Common Sense and Logic. But this ruling was 9-0, which could be the end of DEI in our country. Now, how did they get Sotomayor and Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson in on this? Well, because there was a police sergeant in St. Louis who was a plainclothes officer, and she was transferred out of that role into one where she had to wear a uniform and work weekends because they wanted a man on the plainclothes detail. Now, I don't know why, because I can't believe any police force would be honest enough to say this position requires a certain amount of physical strength or whatever, and so we need a man on it instead of a woman. I don't know if this woman got to be overweight, couldn't meet the physical functions of the job. Again, I can't believe a police policy expressly told her, you're going to be replaced by a man. You're not going to be fired. We're going to move you to another job, but you got to wear your uniform and you got to work weekends. Well, she sued. And always before, the standard was if you were suing because of discrimination on a job, you'd been reassigned or whatever, so you had passed over for a promotion that you thought you deserved more than the other person. And oh, look at that person. They're, Hindu, something, Muslim, they're Ethiopian, what they had an intersectionality check mark you didn't have. You had to show significant harm. Not just harm, but significant harm. Well, the Supreme Court decided that no, not anymore. All you have to do is show harm. Justice Elena Kagan said the policewoman does not have to show that the harm incurred was significant or serious or substantial or any similar adjective. That the police department in St. Louis was still in violation of Title VII, which applies to all compensation, terms, conditions, and privileges of employment. So if you've been fired, if you've been transferred, if you've been denied a bonus, or wow, you can hear the cash registers open on this one. If you've been forced to attend a training program or excluded from a training program, black employees only, female employees only, whatever. If you've been excluded from a mentorship program, if you've been excluded from a company retreat on the basis of your race, sex, or religion, you can sue. The ruling also applies to sex-based transfers, just like the woman in St. Louis. But it also applies to virtually every DEI program out there. Oh boy. Will this be the linchpin that finally gets DEI DOA? I sure hope so. I sure hope so, because we should be hiring, promoting, firing, training, all on the basis of merit. Here are some of the companies that are probably very nervous in their corporate boardrooms today. Starbucks, Morgan Stanley, McDonald's, Hershey, BlackRock, there's the evil asset managing company, Disney, and many others which administer and engage in practices that appear to give or deny special preferences on the basis of race and sex. This is not a new thing. I will never forget, I was hired 1987, okay? Long time ago. Man, you're old, yes. I was hired in 1987 by the Cleveland Plain Dealer to cover Ohio State athletics, okay? 1987. I interviewed in September because, hey, football season's starting, we got to get our new Ohio State guy in here. I was hired at the end of October. And when I finally got the call, hey, you're our choice, and I said yes, I asked a simple question. What took so long? I said, what took so long? And the editor who hired me said, we had to certify with the National Labor Relations Board that we had interviewed at least 15 minorities for this job. And we had to justify why you were a better choice than any of them. In 1987. Okay? So this is not a new thing, but it's an out of control thing. Back then it was like whisper, whisper, whisper. Nobody knew about DEI. Nobody talked about DEI. But I saw it in hiring at the Plain Dealer for years. Oh, we got to hire an NBA beat guy. Hey, let's hire a black guy because only a black guy could talk to other black guys at the NBA. It's stupid. It's just utterly, inanely stupid. So hopefully this will be the end of it. Supreme Court has sent, I think, a pretty clear signal saying affirmative action is not allowed. Now this ruling. And I'm really encouraged by the 9-0. That's great. Because if it had been 5-3, or 6-3, or 5-4, well, then the DEI proponents would continue to howl. But 9-0, take the L. Go sit down and shut up. Oh, gotta hit the back end commercial button. There we go. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you got a good weekend planned. Hope it's not raining where you are. A lot of rain. Tired of it. Let's get KJP's audio justifying Joe Biden's uncle not being eaten by cannibals. Up ready for the next segment. What do you think? My Uncle Bosie was eaten by cannibals. You know, Trump should come out today and say, jury selection went well. I'm just glad I wasn't eaten by cannibals. You should just troll this idiot. All right, Uncle Bosie. Here we go here. Let's see what else we got on them. What else we got on the Uncle Bosie cannibal? Uncle Bosie cannibal rail. Oh my. All right, I'll probably do it. All right, we're gonna play Uncle Joe's Uncle Bosie comment again.
Banks to tag transactions for certain keywords. One of them is Holy Bible. It's a horrifying and creepy attack on our religious freedoms. It's made possible by a digital financial system that makes you a sitting duck. But you do have other options. I recommend physical gold IRA for Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Warren, news analyst, a best-selling author, and evangelical leader to people who cherish the financial.
I can't imagine. What's life like for Corinne Jean-Pierre when the phone rings? Hey, we need you to clean up a little mistake by the president. Oh, really? What was that? He said his uncle was eaten by cannibals. What? Send John Kirby out for that. Let's see.
Is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping.
What do we got here?
If you're a local business ready to take the next step, Google sales around Columbus right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Google sales around Columbus.
Best.
Hi, I'm Paul George with Keller Williams Greater Columbus Realty, host of the Paul George Real Estate
Ooh.
Show, broadcasting every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 98.9 The Answer. Using over 30 years of trusted real estate agent experience in Central Ohio, I'll share invaluable insights into the ever-evolving local real estate market, provide you with current trends, and bring industry experts who will share their wisdom on the art of buying and selling homes. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Do not settle for inferior beef when you go to the grocery store and you look around and you say, well, I don't have a choice, Bruce. I can't find any USDA prime or choice beef. Well, then you're ordering your beef from the wrong place. You should be ordering it from riverbendranchsteaks.com. Oh, I'll pay so much more. Well, you might pay a little bit more, but you know what you won't pay more than? You won't pay more than you will from Butcher Box or Moink or Good Ranchers or Omaha Steaks, because Riverbend Ranch Steaks are from an actual ranch, not from a bunch of different ranchers all over the country. Those organizations can't certify that their beef is hormone-free, antibiotic-free. They can't certify that it was all raised on grass grown on a Big Sky Country ranch. And they certainly can't say that their beef was butchered on site, dry aged to perfection, flash frozen, and shipped right to your door. Riverbend Ranch Steaks say and do all of that. I get my shipment every month. You can pick every month or every other month. Order your bundle today at riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce. riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce. So there's Fox polling out that shows Donald Trump ahead in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, but behind in Wisconsin. What did I say? Donald Trump is ahead? Yes, Donald Trump is ahead in those states. He's behind Biden in Wisconsin. I don't expect Trump to win Wisconsin. Wisconsin is just a weird place that has, I would almost no longer classify it as a swing state. But here's some comforting numbers if you are hoping Donald Trump wins re-election. And I am. Because I don't like paying high prices. I don't like the DEI cram down. I don't like the vilification of Title IX. I don't like the demonization of American energy. I don't like weakness on the world stage. I don't like an open southern border. I don't like liars. Shall I go on? No, that's enough. You get the drift. Donald Trump, when he ran for re-election in 2020, won states that today, because states change their electoral count vote, he won states in 2020 that if he wins those exact same states today, and remember, he didn't win Nevada, he didn't win Michigan, he didn't win Wisconsin, he didn't win Pennsylvania, he didn't win Georgia, but he won enough states that in 2020 he would have today, if he wins those same states, 235 electoral votes. Okay? 235. Now he's leading, and I think he will win in Georgia, which is 16, and he's leading, but I'm not as confident he'll win in Michigan. If he wins Georgia and Michigan, that's 31 additional electoral votes. That puts him at 267, 3 shy. He would have to win only one more of these 4 states to become president: Pennsylvania, Arizona, Wisconsin, or Nevada. Now, he's hurt in Arizona by the recent abortion ruling back to the Civil War era. Pennsylvania, I again find it hard to believe that Trump can win Pennsylvania, but he might. Biden keeps damaging the economy there, and seems like union workers are deserting Biden, even though he goes and tells them fanciful tales of Uncle Boozy dying at the hands of, well, at the teeth of cannibals. Nevada has only 6 electoral votes, but Nevada would be enough. Nevada would be enough. So if I were Trump, by the way, here is Trump today, reporting to court in New York. It's day 3 of the made-up phony baloney trial about bookkeeping error. Alvin Bragg, the prosecutor. Trump comes in. Trump talks about the case. Trump should talk about something besides his own legal case. Hey, did you see yesterday this happened? Did you see yesterday this happened? And Trump this morning should have come in and said, "Hello, glad to be here for day 3 of the American judicial system, even though it's been co-opted by a phony, agenda-driven prosecutor. I have a lot to be thankful for, including the fact that I was not eaten by cannibals overnight." And just wink and walk away. Glad I was not eaten by cannibals. Poor Uncle Boozy. I think we all feel for Uncle Boozy, don't we? Just mock how stupid Biden is. Instead, this is what Trump said. That's a good shot.
Moving to New York. But this is a rigged case, and this is a case that was put in very strongly because of politics. So instead of being in Pennsylvania or Georgia or North Carolina or lots of other places today, I'm sitting in a courthouse all day long. This is going on for the week. And this will go on for another 4 or 5 weeks, and it's very unfair, and people know it's very unfair.
So he should have followed that up by going, I should be in Georgia, I should be in North Carolina. Of course, I wouldn't go to New Guinea because my plane might crash and I'd be eaten by cannibals like poor Uncle Boozy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's the Biden cut from Pennsylvania, where he appears at a war memorial, and always, Joe Biden just can't laud the people who are being honored by something, right? Service people die in battle. He's got to go and he's got to talk about Bo dying in Iraq, even though Bo died in a hospital bed in America and he wasn't a war casualty, okay? Doesn't mean it's not sad that his son died, but it means it's pathetic that he uses his son's death to compare his suffering to other people who have their sons and daughters killed in battle. That is pathetic. But here, because he's at a war memorial, Joe Biden, serial fabulist, has to lie about what family history is concocted from the demented corners of his mind.
My uncle, they called him Ambrose, Ambrosi, they called him Bosie. Bosie. He's a hell of an athlete.
Oh.
When he was a kid.
Hell of an athlete.
Became an Army Air Corps before the Air Force came along. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. He got shot down in New Guinea, and they never found the body because there used to be a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
And I made all that up in my own mind. Where's my tapioca? Is Mannix on yet? I'm doing Trump, doing Biden. Sorry. All right. So, Corinne John Identity Hire is on the media plane yesterday. And listen to how even she, in the beginning, understands how ridiculous this is. That Joe Biden has said his uncle was eaten by cannibals.
What questions? Okay.
Can we just see the cannibal tab in your book?
There's no cannibal tab. What are you talking about?
Yeah. There's no cannibal tab. She got the notebook in front of her all the time. Oh, inflation, border, world fecklessness. And the reporter jokes, "Hey, can you flip to the cannibal tab?" And she laughs because she realizes how stupid it is. Here's more of her inane defense of this blatant lie.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'll just, and I think we shared this with some of you, so I'm just going to kind of repeat. Look, you saw the president. He was incredibly proud of his uncle's service in uniform. You saw him at the War Memorial. It was incredibly emotional and important to him. You saw him respond to all of you when asked about the moment yesterday. And his uncle, who lost his life when the military aircraft he was on crashed in the Pacific after taking off near New Guinea. The president highlighted his uncle's story as he made the case for honoring our sacred commitment to...
No, and no. He's incredibly proud his uncle served in uniform. Okay, great. I'm incredibly proud my dad served in uniform. He served in Italy. I've never said, my father went into the palace and he executed Mussolini himself. No, you don't get to say you're proud of your uncle's service and he was eaten by cannibals. Like, what an inane defense of this lying piece of crap we have in the White House. He's a disgrace to our country. She's a disgrace to our country. To pawn this off and for the White House press corps to allow her to pawn this off is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
Relief Factor is the daily supplement that helps your body fight back against pain. It's 100% drug-free. Relief Factor was developed by doctors searching for a better alternative for pain. Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients to help reduce or eliminate the everyday aches and pains that you experience. And whether it's neck, back, joint, muscle pain, Relief Factor can help you feel better. Unlike pills that mask the pain for a short time, and I've been there, done that, well, Relief Factor helps support the body's natural response to inflammation. Over 1 million people have tried the Relief Factor Quick Start Kit. Nearly 70% of people go on to order it again. So you see, Relief Factor is about living better. See how Relief Factor can help you with their 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95. It comes with Relief Factor's Feel Better or Your Money Back Guarantee. Why not give it a try? Let's see if we can get you out of pain. ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. When you feel the difference, you know it works. Relief Factor.
Find us at 989theanswer.com. Download our apps. Stream us 24/7. WTOH and WTOH HD1, Upper Arlington, Columbus.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The House has pushed a $95 billion national security aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and other U.S. allies closer to passage. A key procedural vote gained approval to move ahead with that bill. Final votes on the package, they are expected on Saturday. Also at townhall.com, an apparent Israeli drone attack on a major air base near the central city of Isfahan activated Iranian air defenses. The strike coming just days after Tehran's unprecedented drone and missile attack on Israel. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says he doesn't have much to add about the reported attack in Iran.
I'm going to be incredibly boring and not make your day by saying, again, I'm not going to speak to what's been reported, other than to say that the United States has not been involved in any offensive operations. The United States, along with our partners, will continue to work for de-escalation.
Military affairs analyst, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis, tells the Salem Radio Network Israel managed to avoid carrying out an all-out offensive.
Had Israel responded as many people wanted, and that is to return 350 drones and missiles in exchange for what they did, the Iranians did on the 13th of April, that would have provoked, what we and the Israelis didn't want, another front on that war.
Analysts said the relatively limited scope of the Israeli attack and the subdued response by Iran seemed to indicate the threat of an immediate escalation had diminished. A losing week on Wall Street is finally coming to a close. The Dow is ahead 177 points, but the Nasdaq losing 184. More on these stories at townhall.com.
For this afternoon, it'll be cloudy and breezy with high 63. Considerably cloudy tonight and a bit cooler with that low dipping at 44. Kicking off the weekend tomorrow, breezy with a blend of sun and clouds, high 56. Partly sunny come Sunday with a high 55. That'll wrap the weekend into Monday, warmer with plenty of sunshine on tap, high 64. Cloudy come Tuesday with a high 66. We've got showers coming our way Tuesday night. I'm Ruth O'Brien for 98.9 FM The Answer.
Attention, aspiring biologists. Ohio Christian University is pleased to announce our Bachelor of Science in Biology program starting fall 2024. Dive into the fascinating world of biology.
Hey, sorry, I was caught up in tweeting. That'll do it for the show. Really appreciate you guys joining us. I post the link to the Rumble rebroadcast of the show a little later on today for those of you who aren't on social media right now and can't find it later. Appreciate, wow, nice crowd today watching. Appreciate that a lot. Hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend. And we'll see you here on Monday. Take care of yourself.